Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Salty Country. It is 27 December, unusually warm. I'm not complaining. No heat on in the shop. Got up, took the dogs out this morning. It was 62 degrees. So I think we're supposed to get close to 70 today, but it's been a unusually warm Christmas. So I'm out in the shop this morning. My son got me this power tool organizer. It's a rack where you can hang your cordless drills and that kind of stuff, and also it has like a power strip and couple little shelves to where you can put your chargers. So let's see if we can get this thing put together and we'll see if this goes good or if I can do it by myself, or I'm gonna need Melody out here to help me hold something so I can get it together. Let's see what all comes in the box. All right, here looks like one of the shelves. Power strip. Pretty decent sized cord on it. Here's another shelf. And this guy has I'm trying to see what the name of this is. It's called Vitor. There's the name of it. And then it's got the instructions here. We'll set them down so we can refer back to them. There's the card. Set this shelf over here with the other one. Here's a rack to hang stuff. Here is some other kind of rack. It looks like you can maybe put a drill in here with a tip on, or maybe a tip holder. We shall see. But I'm gonna enjoy the temps. It's been nice for several days here. Melody and I went to Florida, and that was the last episode that you saw on actually it'll be tomorrow. It was a fun episode. Change of pace. Maybe you enjoyed it, maybe you didn't. But anyway, we decided to do something a little bit different. But the temperature here is going to drop from, I think tomorrow we're supposed to have a chance of rain and 71 degrees. I think it's the high tomorrow. And then Monday, I think it's like a high of 39, low of 24, goes south in a hurry. So, all right, I got everything out of the box. It says the two red panels right there are panels A and B. And let's see, it says to take A and D, let's see, A and B hooked together. Well, first it says to take panel A and hook D and F to it. D is this thing, and F is this thing right here. So first off, this right here goes on the side of this. All right, so let me lay that right there. Get in this pack of screws. It's got a small Allen, small tiny wrench. I'm trying to see, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and take all these out. That way I can kind of see what I got going on here. It's got some anchors and some wood screws. Looks like all the screws are the same size. All right, so it says on the other side, it just says use a screw. So, all right, so here's the piece that goes on the inside of this, and these turn up. So these have anchors in them. So I should be able to start this. This may be interesting with so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Just want to get this started. Now I'll get a screwdriver. All right, that wasn't too bad. See if I can hold this to get everything lined up. There we go. But yeah, we headed down to Florida the 19th. Stayed down there till the 23rd. We're back up here that afternoon or that evening, and then had Christmas here. And been enjoying the weather. All right. All right. So I got end piece and then this piece. That's the first step it's showing me. So I'm going to, oh, I didn't even look at them. They're Allens. That's not very easy when you got these things sticking out. Just have to take a little bit of a turn at a time. All right, so Maybe Phillips would have worked a little bit better here, but at least they give you the Allen to put it together. I'm going to snug this up just a little bit. Not too tight. I'll tighten everything up. Once I get everything together, I'm going to snug it so it's not flopping. Alright, so there's the first piece. Now it says to connect panel B to D. So now I got to put that panel on here. This is made so you can mount it on the wall. I've got to figure out in here how I want to mount this, because I don't have wood studs. So I may have to get me some metal studs to mount this. I'd like to put it right there above my toolbox. Alright, so I got that started. Let's see if I can get this tightened up real quick. Snug it up a little bit. Alright, so there's first step is completely done. Alright, now it says to take one of these shelves and mount it about midway of the, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. They show the fifth hole down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Get a couple screws. One, two, three, four, five. There we go, right there. Start a screw in that. Yeah, we got the Razor out yesterday and went for a ride. It's really nice. Rode for about an hour or so. We probably went about maybe 10 miles. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. Probably will go for another ride today at some point, while the weather is still nice. We may need that thing. I don't know that we've got any snow or ice coming in this next round, but winter here, or the fall into winter here, has been very, very mild. And I'm expecting January and February to turn south on us. All right, so I just got those hand tied. It says to put the next shelf in, and it goes in the top. So I'll set that in here. Let me grab some screws. Got that one started. Just gonna get this over here started. Yep. My flagpole, we got back and the flagpole was leaning. You know, I showed how to put a flagpole in. And that way, if you ever get out, you use sand, use a sleeve, and then use put sand in. That way, if it ever gets out of adjustment, it's just a matter of either vacuuming or scooping out sand and reinstalling your sand. But we must have had some very high wind here, because that thing was leaning at probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 degree angle. The flag was torn, so I got to get it all taken down so I can get me a new flag. But I straightened it back up and noticed that the winds were so high. I put a 12-inch sleeve in the ground and packed around it. The best way to do them is to put concrete around your sleeve. And it looks like that the wind was so high that the sleeve got loose in the ground, and then the pole got loose in the sand. But I'm gonna get it squared away, get me a new flag. I've got a new flagpole coming, and I'll share that with everyone whenever I get it. Here, I'm gonna probably end up putting a corrugated metal pipe in the ground when I get it, probably 3 foot deep, concrete it in, because I believe the pole that I'm gonna get is somewhere around 30 feet. All right, so I got that together. Let's see what the next step is. So I got the screws in that. That was step 2 and 3 was putting those 2 shelves in it. Step 4 is mounting this thing on the side, and it's got anchors in it also. And it goes on the side of panel A. All right, so it goes over here. Let's see where they show it. They show it 1 hole above this shelf, top shelf. All right, so you have to come in. The anchors are in further on this. So I got that one started. And that makes sense. You can't start the screw in here if it was on the same level. So it has to be up. Let's see what if they call this anything. Panel A to panel G. They call this panel G, so I don't know exactly what G is for. Looks like it's a tip holder of some kind. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this piece up. hopefully I don't have to take it back apart. All right, so that's on. That was step 4. Step 5, connect panel H to panel AB using 1 to 2 screws for stability. Finally, once everything is correct, assembled, use a mini wrench to tighten all the screws. Alright, so looks like that's the power strip. Alright, so my power strip will need to turn this way if I mount it where I want to. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. Has an on and off switch. Looks like it's maybe a 10 or 12 gauge cord. So it shows it sliding down in here. And I see a couple spots for, let's see if I did something wrong when I put this top shelf on. It looks like that top shelf needs to be down 1. Because this has 2 screws that'll go right there. But it shows on the picture that it goes together in the top. Let me look at this close. Yep. Which it shows still in that illustration in the back, it shows it, the shelf is down one row below that. But yeah, it's confusing. They kind of missed that on their instructions. So let's pull this apart real quick. Take a second. Move this shelf down 1 hole so the power strip can be locked into place. Alright, got this thing pretty loose now. Let's see if we can leave the other side in. I don't know that we can. Let's see if this will drop. I don't know that we can. Oh yeah. All right, so that's one of the flaws with the instructions. I didn't look far enough down. You would think they would have it somewhat figured out, but that's wrong for sure. All right, so let's go Get that one started. And I think maybe the shelves is for, the second shelf, the lower one is maybe for batteries that are charged, and the upper one is for your chargers, because you definitely can't have a battery and a charger. There's not enough room on that second shelf. But we're trying to decide if we're going to hang out here on the farm when the weather turns south, or if we're going to go back to Florida. It's only a 5-hour drive. All right. Now these screws, I don't know if they're long enough. Maybe they are. Let's see. Yep. All the screws in this pack are the same length. And there's some nuts. Let's see, 2, 4, 5 nuts that I don't have a clue what they're for. But we'll get there in a minute and see if alright, so one thing I've noticed is I kind of tightened them up a little bit on the other end. Alright, so it looks like that these screws don't need to be tightened all the way. You're going to have to kind of split the difference so that both sides work. Alright, so this power strip has a place for 2 screws to go in each end of it to hold it in place, which is nice. And let's see if this thing is going to snug up the way I think it should. Can't tighten it too much because it's wanting to pull in, but that's good and firm in there. I'll set that right there. All right, so it says step 6. You can scan the QR code to watch an installation video. We've included 4 extra nets. You can adjust the position of the E, F, and G panels within the frame. Okay, back to the same step 5 of putting in the power strips. So these hanger hooks go on the opposite side. And let me see where they will go. Alright, I just noticed something. Second hole down here is not the same as the second hole down in the back. So I gotta move this back of this shelf down one more hole. So my shelf is leaning, which is not the end of the world. Everything would stay on there fine. But I think I may, it gives you, that's where the nuts come in. It wants you to, gives you some flexibility to mount some of this stuff. Like this piece right here has 4 holes in it. And there's 5 nuts. So it gives you the flexibility to mount it wherever you want to on that side. Is what it's doing. So that's the reason why you got the nuts. All right, let's see. I'm gonna have to loosen some of these power strips right here a little bit, because it's got my shelf sort of pinched. Okay, got the shelf down. All right, wait a minute. About to put it together the same place it was. Okay. Need to loosen this front screw because I need a little bit of adjustment to line my screw up back here. There we go. Alright, so I've got my top shelf now adjusted to where it's perfectly level. Tighten this right here back up and snug my power strip back up. Okay. All right, so now we got this contraption. And they want you to put 4 screws in it. So that's the reason why I was gonna just hook it on here. But if you put anything with any weight to it, it's probably gonna try to pull off the edge a little bit. So we'll put it together the way it says, and if I want to adjust it later on, I can. They give you a little tiny wrench that will hold these nuts. Okay. What is going on with this? It doesn't want to line up. Okay. That's a little bit crazy. The hole, the second hole, doesn't line up to where you can This is loose. All the way down. Won't line up till we can get any more screws in it, so that's how I'm gonna put it together. Alright, got my little temporary wrench, as I call them, so you can snug this up. Okay, go around and tighten everything up. Not the power strip though, it'll crank in the sides of your panels if you put too much pressure on it. It kind of is centered. Shelf, top shelf on this side, good and snug. Second shelf, good and snug. Let's see in here, how did I do? Okay, here it is. We'll make sure that this little side piece is good and snug. All right, let's flip this up. We'll tighten the bottom and I think we're done. And here it is. It looks like it's got about 3 or 4 feet of cord. It's got an area where you can hang your drills with no battery. You can have a battery on there depending on what it is, but you can put your charge batteries here, your charger up here. But let's take a look and see how it'll look where I want to mount it. I would like to mount this somewhere right in here. And that way I can charge down here the way I currently charge it, and then I can charge up top. Looks like I'm gonna need a couple metal studs. And I can go from post to post right there, and it's got 2 sections on the back here, which if I can find about a 10 or 12 inch piece of, I don't know, 16 or 18 gauge track, then I can just run a piece of track across there. It'll be stable enough that it would hold that. But yeah, it wasn't bad. So again, I'll show you what this is. It's the Power Tool Organizer. Comes in several different colors. He got me the red. So wasn't that bad. So it took me out here kind of just taking my time talking through this, almost 40 minutes. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope everybody had a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you have a Happy New Year. This episode will post after the new year, so we'll see what the temperatures are doing back when we do the next episode, because it may be miserable here. I definitely will make this prediction. I won't be wearing shorts. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.